It's showtime. Coming up next on Stags Country.
3, 2, 1. Take G5, roll G5.
Gang, shooting one.
We take you behind the scenes with students putting together a basketball broadcast. He's been adopted by the lacrosse team. We find he's having as big an impact on the players as they're having on him. A former Stag basketball player is looking to have an impact on an even bigger level, make life easier on children from his homeland. Plus, we showcase a couple of athletes who, while still young, are having a huge impact on their team's success. It's all coming up next on Stags Country. Hello, I'm Noah Finns, and this is Stags Country, a program all about Fairfield University Athletics. We have inspiring stories about impressive athletes and coaches. And yes, spring sports have sprung here, but before we get into that, we want to take a look back at one of the more exciting basketball seasons in Fairfield history.
Needham penetrating, dishing for the hot Ivanovic, and he's got 6! And look at him.
The second most wins in school history for the men's team. The women's team ended up with its first ever win in a postseason tournament.
Bounce back floater or teardrop, no good. Rebound tip loose on the floor, and that will do it. And Fairfield holds on. They defeat first place Marist.
A highlight, that win over the conference's top team, Marist. A televised game that catapulted the Stags to a 9-game win streak all the way to the tournament championship game where they came up short against that same Marist team. But they qualified for the inaugural Women's Basketball Invitational, where the Stags beat Towson to reach the 20-win milestone. Stephanie Guillen reached her own milestone. She earned the conference's Defensive Player of the Year award.
Trying the baseline drive pass. Oh, beautiful pass, but a better block there by Pina Johnson to get it to Needham. Drive the other end, hits the shot, and it counts.
Anthony Johnson took home the same hardware when the men were honored.
This is something very important to me, because I take pride in my defense.
In fact, 3 Stags won major awards. Johnson, Mike Ivanovic won the Best Six-Man honor, and Derek Needham won Freshman of the Year. The Stags nearly earned their way into the NCAA tournament, had a lead over top-seeded Siena in the MAC Tournament Championship game, but lost in overtime. It set up, though, one of the most exciting games in NCAA history when the Stags made the collegeinsiders.com postseason tournament. George Mason built up a 27-point lead with 16 minutes to go. Ivanovic fired back with 8 second-half three-pointers, 9 total, including the one that tied the game right before the buzzer.
From the baseline, Pina looking, tossing up top to Needham. 9 seconds, Needham. They're going to play for the tie. 5 seconds, Needham on top. Needham gets for Ivanovic. A 3 for the tie. It's good! It's good!
From there, the Stags won the game in overtime, gaining their 23rd win and completing the biggest comeback in NCAA postseason history.
I remember telling somebody the first year, I said, we're going to be able to tell people, like our grandkids, that we were on Coach Cooley's first team. You know, like we helped him build who he is. And I think that's still true now, that you know, he's got something going here, and it's only going to get better, I think. And you know, I'm proud to say I helped out with it.
Here's a big part of what Coach Ed Cooley has going on at Fairfield. Derek Needham.
You can't guard him left or right. He's quick. He can shoot. I mean, he has a nice all-around game. It's hard to guard him hard.
That's not exactly news to anyone who's had to guard him. Needham put together the most impressive season by a freshman in school history. His 543 points and 172 assists are freshman school records. He broke the conference record by winning the Rookie of the Week 10 times, making the Rookie of the Year honor a mere formality on awards day.
Rookie of the Year is definitely a highlight.
He was also named to the collegeinsider.com Freshman All-America team.
The biggest thing for Derek, I think, was that he was strong enough right away, because it's very physical making the transition from high school to college, and a lot of people aren't ready for it when they get here. But Derek was physically strong enough, mentally strong enough, and he's a special player.
Which makes people wonder why he wasn't recruited by one of the basketball powerhouses, especially ones near his home in Chicago.
My passiveness in high school, the way I played with 2 national players on the team, I didn't have to shoot the ball as much. And everybody told me, when you come to college, if you want to play in the next level or anything, you have to be more aggressive.
So what made him choose Fairfield?
Colin Nickerson. I wanted to play basketball with him.
Nickerson is also from Chicago, and they played against each other in high school and AAU ball.
He said he used to look on the internet all the time in high school, and he seen that I scored more than him. So he's like, oh, I gotta get my points up, get all this other stuff up to catch up with him. And he came this year, and he did better than me. Proud of him, though. Proud of him.
Fairfield is turning out to be the best thing to happen to Needham. Not that he was at all bitter the bigger schools overlooked him.
If they didn't recruit me, they didn't recruit me. I mean, not a big deal. I came to Fairfield for a reason. We're going to come here to make history.
As you can imagine, there are some serious goals for next year's team. And speaking of goals, a former Stag basketball player had a goal when he was here. Years later, he's still working toward that goal. Ken Jafarin has more with Mamadu Jate and his dream to help others.
26-year-old Mamadu Jate has had two big dreams so far in his life. One as a young child, to one day leave his native Senegal and come to America to live.
I'm gonna go to US, no matter what. Even I have to swim, even I have to run, I will get there.
He made it, joining his sister in Long Island for high school, where he learned English. Then, eventually in 2005, landing here at Fairfield University to play basketball. And he was high energy for the team, like a spark plug. It was at Fairfield that Mamadu began pursuing his second dream, to improve the lives of children in his West African homeland. Raised by middle-class parents, he says he felt privileged, having everything he needed.
And other kids sometimes they don't even have food, or they cannot buy clothes or go to school because their parents cannot afford it.
So every time he went home, he tried to bring something, especially shoes. His basketball teammates contributed countless sneakers.
I said, listen, if you're gonna throw your shoes away, just put it on the side, and I can give it to people who will appreciate it.
In 2008, Aid to Senegal's Children was Mamadu's senior project. His advisor and mentor was Professor of Information Systems, Dr. Winston Tellis. It was then that the sneaker project began to grow into much more, introducing technology and changing the way children back home could learn. It was the lack of exposure that crippled Mamadu when he went to high school in New York.
For my classmate, it was just like another paper. For me, it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do.
Because of the computer?
Yes, because I couldn't type, and I struggled for a while.
He's collected 10 laptops already, but he also wants to refurbish his home elementary school building. The conditions are deplorable: cracking foundation, holes in the walls, broken benches and chairs, learning supplies at a bare minimum. And with the support of business school faculty and staff, Mamadu Jahate's second dream is close to coming true. He's forming a nonprofit called Kaba Senegal, Kaba being his middle name.
What this institution is about is sharing the gifts that we are given with those less fortunate than we are. Mamadu has understood this.
The big thing, if we can get all this done quickly.
Professor
really
Chris
nice.
Huntley and his students have made a project out of designing the charity's website.
If people donate things, they can track it.
Mamadu's dreams for Senegal's young children are grand: corporate sponsors and hopefully one day transforming all of the grade schools there.
I'm taking baby steps right now, but I have the faith and I believe that this project will move forward.
The men's lacrosse team has been piling up impressive wins, but as good as the victories make the players feel, they've accomplished something even more important: developing a relationship with the boy who's had to deal with more than any youngster should. Meet the newest member of the lacrosse team, 7-year-old Ryan Tucker.
Got you a couple Star Wars toys, comic book, Yankees poster, Yankees hat.
Thanks.
No problem.
It makes you happy. Recruiting is obviously a big part of what I do professionally here, and I can say that hands down the biggest and the best recruit that we've ever been able to land is Ryan Tucker.
Come here, Bill, you're part of this too, okay?
Coach Copeland and senior captain Sean Bannon started recruiting Ryan after they saw a television show about the organization, the Friends of Jacqueline, an organization that connects youngsters with illnesses to a college team. That's how the Stags found Ryan.
It fires me up that we got this going. I'm very excited about it, and to see, Ryan
fighting for everything. You know, his strength is shown on our, shown on the field with us and shown throughout our team. You know, to see him happy, it makes everybody else happy.
Before Ryan's 3rd birthday, he had an 11-hour surgery, removing 95% of a brain tumor. A couple years later, the tumor started to grow, so he went through chemotherapy, which has helped. The whole team got to hear Ryan's story at a formal introduction.
It's true. It's really true. Thank you, all of you. Go Stag!
And now he is a Stag, has his own jersey, even has his own locker.
I'm having a lot of fun. I really like going in the locker room. I'm so happy in the games. It's really fun. The team members always give me high fives when they come out. Good luck on your game!
Once in a while you think just how lucky you are. You see him interact with the team, it's hard, you're fighting back some tears, things like that. There's special moments all the time with him.
The guys on the lacrosse team feel the same way. They actually say he does more for them than they've done for him.
Became part of our family pretty much this year, and he's going to be part of the Fairfield tradition. And we want to stay hand in hand with them throughout our lives.
When Stag's Country returns.
Although it's been difficult, I've made it this far. One more semester and I'm done.
So how did she do it? Make it through the toughest academic program on campus while playing on the softball team. Plus, he's a pioneer in men's lacrosse. Now he's pioneering his way through women's lacrosse. His goals for Fairfield coming up next on Stag's Country.
At Fairfield University, we explore big questions, complicated ideas, and unlimited possibilities.
In a community of learners representing diverse beliefs, opinions, and experiences.
Actively engaged in a caring, supportive, and fun community.
Our education prepares us to be thoughtful, global citizens, serving the common good.
At Fairfield University, you will get an inspiring education.
For an inspired life.
The first 30 seconds are all I remember. My doctor told me I had cancer. When the shock was over, I met with a cancer specialist at Norwalk Hospital. We weighed all my options: surgery, radiation therapy, chemotherapy, even the latest clinical trials. Their Whittingham Cancer Centre offered me personalised care, hope, and leading cancer physicians. And I know great care. Besides being a cancer survivor, I'm also an ICU nurse, and I chose Norwalk Hospital.
Hey, Father.
Come in, Aaron. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
He's the athletic department's spiritual leader, Father George Gallarelli.
Hey, Father. How you doing? Good to see you.
He's one of the more popular guys in the athletic department since he tries to make it to most of the games on campus and be there for athletes who might need his guidance.
I'm here for the student athletes in case they, need someone to talk to, or if they're having any difficulties.
He's new to the position, just started a few months ago, but he's not new to the university. Father Gallarelli started at Fairfield in 1964 as Dean of Men. The position included serving as the basketball team's chaplain. He's now the longest tenured Jesuit on campus. He says he was happy to move to the athletic department when asked.
We've had good luck since I took over. The female basketball team had 6 wins in a row. Well, the enthusiasm of the kids is wonderful.
Here we go, boys! Let's go, baby!
The student athletes here, though, are, to use a Latin phrase, sui generis, a particular type of student athlete, because they do very well academically. They're great kids.
Building a winning women's lacrosse program, Fairfield has the pieces to make it happen. A star player, we'll hear more about her later in the show, plus a head coach, a coach who has starred and coached at the highest level in men's lacrosse. As Kendra Farn reports, he's now doing it in the women's game.
Right up, right up, right up, go, go!
He's only in his 3rd year of coaching Fairfield women's lacrosse, and Mike Waldvogel has already taken the Stags to a place they have never seen before. 2 MAC championships, an NCAA tournament appearance, and a national ranking.
High or low, high or low.
Yes, many consider the 62-year-old a lacrosse legend, though the majority of his career has been successfully coaching men.
As a player, I was very smart. I saw the field really well. I had a sense for the game. I think I brought that to coaching.
At the Division I level for over 3 decades, the majority at Yale, where he took the Bulldogs to 3 NCAA tournaments and became the winningest coach in program history. In 1996, he was inducted into the Lacrosse Hall of Fame. The list of accolades is endless.
Burns, go over, Burns!
So why did he make the switch to coaching women when he likely could have had his pick of men's jobs? 2 reasons. He didn't want to leave Connecticut, and he's not thrilled with the direction the guys' game is going.
Men play for different reasons. They play for their ego, and so men don't do anything wrong, where the women, I think, play more as a team. They want to be part of a team. They play together.
Pressure! Pressure!
His players say he drives them and inspires them to the point that letting him down is painful.
We're getting recognition basically because he's our coach and for what we have shown that we can do on the field. And it's more, I mean, I think everyone looks at him as more of like a father figure.
The women's team has without question risen to new heights, gaining greater exposure and landing players like Maryland's Kristen Coleman to attract other top recruits.
We've shown people that we play at a high level. We play against the better players. We try to pick up the better teams. And I think we can be a top 10 team nationally year in, year out.
Coming up next on Stags Country, no matter what the season, his sport is always in season.
Something I've been doing my whole life. It's a challenge, but it's fun.
Plus, we take you behind the scenes for the broadcast of a Fairfield basketball game. Next on Stags Country.
When was the last time you were challenged intellectually by a great speaker or wowed by an artistic performance? Fairfield University offers a provocative lineup of events that will enrich the lives of you and your family. Thrilling music, dance and theater performances, creative exhibitions, and thought-provoking lectures. Come to Fairfield University curious and leave inspired.
The men's and women's golf teams are doing more than winning tournaments. They're raising money and awareness for breast cancer.
I just wanted to get the kids involved in something a little more than just golf and let them realize that golf is just a game. There's more to life than going out and playing golf, and that's how we got started.
So the players all seek pledges for every hole where they score par or better. So far, they've raised over $3,000, but even more important, they're doing everything they can to educate.
We go to the first tee and we hand out breast cancer pins to all of the girls we play with, as well as a Rally for the Cure pamphlet, just letting the girls know about what we do.
They also wear pink shirts with the Rally for a Cure logo on the collar for the final round of every tournament. The players say they're committed to doing this good service, and the reception from opponents has been great. While the golf teams raise money and awareness for breast cancer, there are 2 athletes on campus who are working their way through a demanding program to actually become part of the healthcare community. It takes a lot of work to get through the nursing program here, but as Kendra Farn reports, there are 2 athletes who have taken on the extra load of playing for the softball team.
The formula for kinetic energy, which is either E or F, could be F.
Time management may not be an offered class at Fairfield. But Kristen Bowen and Danny Griswold have mastered it on this campus. Both are in the nursing school, one that typically doesn't allow any time for anything else. But they are finding time to play a Division I sport. They're both on the softball team, been playing since they were 5, and they weren't willing to give it up despite all of the demands, which takes them from the classroom to the diamond to the hospital for training.
You start clinicals earlier here rather than starting in your senior year. And you really feel like after these 4 years, I feel like I'm out there ready to become a nurse, and I feel like I couldn't get that experience anywhere else.
Griswold is a senior, and after 4 years truly understands the challenge of balancing the team and the rigors of the nursing courses. Only in her 2nd year, Bowen is learning how to best handle the almost unheard of workload she's placed on herself, mentally and physically.
Just like the amount of labs that we have to take is like
So I'm taking like 5 classes, but I'm also taking like 2 labs, so it's kind of like 7 classes, which is difficult. And then you have to, a lot of times I have to run to practice and then run back to class. I'm all sweaty.
The two spend a lot of time together. They're lifting partners. But as a sophomore, Kristen relies on Danny for guidance with this much heavier balancing act, pushing her through the grueling times with words of encouragement.
It's stressful, but if I could get through it, you can get through it.
It's really helpful because no matter what, I know that I can go talk to her and she'll help me.
Professor Christine Ross Earls teaches anatomy and physiology.
They wouldn't be in the nursing program if they weren't very good students.
Very good students with a passion for a sport and a career dream to care for those who are ill, both of which they refuse to give up.
Although it's been difficult, I've made it this far. One more semester and I'm done. And everybody told me I couldn't, and it's done.
The softball players aren't the only ones doing double time. Tucker Nathans is doing double duty. He grew up playing 2 different sports, and he isn't ready to give up either one yet. Tucker Nathans, the baseball player. Tucker Nathans, the soccer player. It's highly uncommon, but at Fairfield, Tucker Nathans is both.
Someone says you got to choose right now. What is it?
That's not a decision I have to make right now.
And so he hasn't. Coming out of high school, he made it clear to college recruiters he was going to do what only a handful of college athletes nationwide have done, play Division I baseball and soccer. He was never more sure than when he went on a recruiting trip to Boston University, which doesn't have a baseball team.
They actually took me by Fenway Park, and that kind of hit home with showing me that I really wanted to actually play baseball also in college.
Come on, baby.
And as you can imagine, it's tough. While he's playing soccer, his baseball teammates are working on their baseball skills, and vice versa.
It's very demanding because the people you're competing against are basically year-round people.
It's a massive commitment to do just one sport. And quite frankly, there's not many. I mean, I've 14 years here coaching. There's not many like Tucker.
Both coaches say Tucker is one of the rare athletes who can do it. To those who understand the rigors of big-time college athletics, it's a wonder. But Nathans doesn't see it that way.
It's a challenge, but it's fun, and it's something that I love doing. So I don't look at it as work. I just look at it as, you know, going out there and having fun with a bunch of my friends every day.
Coming up next on Stag's Country, it's our Student Spotlight. We feature an athlete who is the definition of dominant. Plus, we take you in the production truck and behind the lens as students help to produce game broadcasts. Next on Stag's Country.
At Fairfield University, we explore big questions, complicated ideas, and unlimited possibilities.
In a community of learners representing diverse beliefs, opinions, and experiences.
Actively engaged in a caring, supportive, and fun community.
Our education prepares us to be thoughtful global citizens, serving the common good.
At Fairfield University, you will get an inspiring education.
For an inspired life.
With sumptuous guest rooms, fitness center, rooftop pool, and the Blue Martini Lounge, the Bridgeport Holiday Inn is all new, from top to bottom. A world-class day is just minutes away at the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Log on to hibridgeport.com to make your reservation. Blue Martini. Fairfield County's sophisticated new gathering place for food and drink is now open. Blue Martini in the newly renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn.
Performance in the Classroom gets area students a free ticket to see the Stags perform on the court. The Bridgeport's Brightest program was introduced this year. Bridgeport public school students who score well on standardized tests and on their report cards were given free tickets to selected basketball games. Show your honor roll report card at the box office and receive a free ticket.
I probably got about roughly 50 to 60 emails just from parents saying how great it was, they had a great time, and they look forward to coming back to more Stags basketball.
It's all part of Fairfield's dedication to community outreach. A chance to produce commercial television. It's a rare opportunity, but especially rare for college students to do it. But Fairfield University students do help produce this show and actual game broadcasts. In fact, we're going to give you a behind-the-scenes look at students producing Fairfield basketball on TV.
I get here early with most of the crew, and we help run all these cables out, start testing all the cameras, testing all the audio, testing all the monitors, everything has to get tested.
Yep, I can hear you. I love live TV. That's my favorite thing ever, like, to do. Like, I love filming and stuff, but live TV is my favorite thing to do.
Oh, it's live. Don't mess up, you know. One little slip of the finger and your shot goes from crystal clear to fuzzy.
Our main focus is going to be on Geehan, who's the leader of the Stags, and on Rachel Fitz. Marist is a dominant team. This is uphill battle for the Stags. That's sort of the way we're going to approach it.
My name is Ruby, and I am assistant graphics coordinator. I speak with the stats analyst throughout the game to come up with interesting stats and facts about the game.
I keep track of scoring runs, scoring droughts, any kind of specialty stats that the crew needs.
All right, 25 seconds, guys. Everybody on camera, ready to go. If you have to go to the bathroom, it's too late.
I just got off the phone with the network, and I'm in charge of syncing up the clocks and making sure that they got our satellite feed.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take G5, roll G5.
The Fairfield Stags are looking to bounce back from a tough road stretch.
All right, camera one.
Against max scoring leader Rachel
I'm going to need you to give me a shot of Craig.
All right, first place goal for themselves. Maris is the favorite for another MAC title.
The media center got this new piece of equipment that is allowing one of our cameras to be wireless, so we can kind of free roam, go wherever we want around the arena.
Staying competitive in these games, and Coach Frager doing a tremendous job. And there you see Brian George is the head coach of Marist College in his 8th season, and outstanding record of 186 and 59 for. So the ball is tipped into the front court and controlled by Rachel Fitz. Lob down low inside to Oliver. Oliver kicks it back out for Yard, and she hits a 3 to open the game. And just like that, it's 3-0.
All right, they're just going to take it out. Gang, shooting one.
Brandy Gang, a 6'2" sophomore, also from Ohio.
You have to keep track of every single basket made and who scored the basket, and how many shots that person's made in a row. So there's a lot of different numbers that are running through your head.
Peanut through the lane. Runner is good. Fairfield leads by 160-160.
My job's awesome. I have the best seat in the house. I'm on the baseline. How much closer you want to get?
Yard with 4 to Allensbach. Allensbach's floater or teardrop, no good. Rebound tip loose on the floor, and that will do it. And Fairfield holds on. They defeat first place Marist.
I had a great time. Let's do it again. Let's get another W.
As we mentioned, students also help produce this show and appear on the show. In our Student Spotlight, television major Ivy Spate follows a women's lacrosse player who can best be described with one word.
Dominant. Webster defines it as commanding, controlling, or prevailing over all others. And if there's one way to describe the Stags' Kristen Coleman, it's just that, dominant. While a member of the women's lacrosse team for a little over 2 years, she has had more success than most athletes do in a lifetime. A big part in changing the culture of the team.
I really had no idea all we would have achieved by my junior year.
She led the Stags to 2 straight conference championships, the Player of the Year in both those years, and has already cleared the record books, slashing the career points and goals record. But Coleman insists it's a record that speaks more for the entire team.
It's a reflection on what the entire team has achieved over the years. I mean, all of my goals are just, whether it's a save from the goalie, a help from the defender, a pass from the midfielder, those are all the reasons why I've been able to score and end up with those records.
While she credits her teammates for her success, she admits her competitive nature doesn't hurt.
Well, I grew up with 2 brothers, so I've been pretty competitive my entire life and never really had that, little sister to go play here with or do dress up. You can definitely see it on the field and probably in my list of yellow cards I've received.
The one you didn't call it.
I'll just put, nothing I can do is just put it on tape and say, this is what they're calling.
Only a junior, it's hard to imagine the accomplishments she has realized. With a season and a half still to play, she's already left her mark on the program. And that is how she wants to be remembered.
I'd like to be remembered as probably just one of the teams that has really come to Fairfield and changed the entire program as a whole.
For Stags Country, I'm Ivy Spate.
That's going to do it for this edition of Stags Country. But remember, you can get all of your Fairfield sports updates on fairfieldstags.com. For the whole talented crew here at Stags Country, I'm Noah Finns. Thanks for watching.